Welcome to episode 1 of the Six Figure Cleaner podcast. I'm your host, Josh Melton. And the whole point of this episode today is just to let you know what to expect with this podcast. So, hey, starting out, let me tell you this. When I started commercial cleaning business back in 2006, I listened to podcasts, but they weren't cleaning podcasts. That didn't exist back then. So I listened to people like Pat Flynn. I loved that guy with Smart Passive Income. Some other guys that had what was called the Advanced Selling Podcast. So I fell in love with podcasting because I was cleaning at night, 11, 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I was listening to podcasts during those times. So I always loved this because I learned so much through this medium. And I knew one day I wanted to do this. I wanted to give back. So for the last 3 years now, I've been podcasting more of general business with a Stronger Business podcast. But recently, over the last couple of years, probably, I was like, I really want to do something that's specifically to this space because there's just so many good people in this industry and there's so much knowledge that there's people we can bring in and give the right knowledge to people. And there just wasn't a lot of that. Now we are starting to see some podcasts pop up in the cleaning space, which I love. There's some really good ones I'm listening to. I'm not going to name all of them because I'll leave somebody out, but there's some good stuff out there in the space now. And here's where we're going to be a little different with Six Figure Cleaner. So here is what we're looking to do here. You can make a lot of money in commercial cleaning. Like most people starting a cleaning company, they don't think they're trying to scrap it together, but I'm telling you, you can make a lot of money in this industry and you can make six figures. And so what I wanted to do is, as someone who's done that, I wanted to be able to talk to people that want to do that. So if you want to make six figures per year in personal profit, so this is money that you're able to take for yourself. This is the advantages that you're getting as a commercial cleaning company owner, six figures going toward your lifestyle, paying your bills, paying your vacations, taking you to wherever it is you want to go. So why six figures? Well, honestly, because six-figure incomes were always the thing people talked about. It was like, that was just like when you had made it. And so Six Figure Cleaner podcast, what we'll do, we'll bring on, number one, here's the gist of it was this. I wanted to bring on people that had done it, so that if you are one of those people that wants to do it, you're not listening to someone who hasn't done it tell you how to do it. You're listening to someone who has done it tell you how to do it. So what this podcast is really about, what will be our main feature, is interviewing those commercial cleaning business entrepreneurs who have created six figures of personal benefit year in, year out through their commercial cleaning business. So that is who you're going to hear from. And specifically the reasons why is there are so many cleaning groups out there right now. Facebook is filled with commercial cleaning groups. You can go and you can ask a question and you'll have a ton of answers. And as someone who has been, I love those. I think that they're great. I spent a lot of time there. But what I've realized over the years is that the hard part about it is you can ask a question, but you just don't know who's answering your question. And I've seen it play out this way, where there would be people that I knew because I'd had conversations with them privately that they had zero, none, nada, nothing. They have no clients whatsoever answering questions with confidence about what they would do in that person's situation. So here is someone speaking with certainty. This is how you should handle this. And I know, hey, that person doesn't have any clients. They don't have any revenue. The emperor has no clothes, my friend. Check behind the curtain. There's a little bitty guy over there, not the big, powerful Oz that it sounded like was given that info. So over the years, if you had some success, if you knew what you were doing, you'd start kind of spotting some people like, oh, that's a good answer there. I bet that guy's got a successful business. And you'd see a lot of stuff that where maybe you would feel like, I don't know how good that information is. Because if you're new in this thing or you're trying to scale up and you're asking questions on Facebook, you just don't know, again, who is qualified to answer your question or not. And so the whole idea for Six Figure Cleaner was, well, why don't we just make a podcast where the only people given the info, the only people given the education got some fruit on the tree, so that, not saying it'll work for you, but you know that it worked because we're verifying that these people that are coming on the podcast are making six figures. You know what I'm saying? So you can trust this. If you're someone who wants to make six figures in your commercial cleaning business, you can trust Six Figure Cleaner podcast as a reliable resource for you to learn from high achievers. Again, six figure cleaners, teaching those who want to be six figure cleaners. Now, will we ever have anybody else on the show? Of course, we're going to tap into some of the industry experts that maybe they're not having a commercial cleaning company anymore. I'll give you some highlights. These are some people that are going to be on the show. This guy specifically started out in commercial cleaning. He's now serving the industry, but he doesn't have a commercial cleaning company anymore. But we're going to bring him on as the CEO of Swept, Mr. Michael Brown. Phenomenal teacher on leadership, on culture. I mean, the dude's awesome. And he is huge in serving our industry. My business dramatically increased when we partnered with Swept and started using that software. Is that the only one you can use? Nope. It's just the only one that I've used that's helped me become a six-figure cleaner. Pre-Swept, not a six-figure cleaner. Using Swept, post-Swept, current Swept, I guess just to say, present Swept, maybe. Six-figure cleaner. So Swept's been great for us. We'll have Michael on the show. Ricky Regalado, that dude is like just a catalyst for growth in this industry, for building community. Now, he is a six-figure cleaner. He's had crazy results. We'll have Ricky on the show. I love Ricky. John Disselkamp. John is killing it. Cannot wait to release the episode with John, where he shares his story, because wherever you are right now, my friend, wherever you find yourself on how you're feeling about your company, you'll resonate with John's story. Yeah, he overcame some obstacles, and he's killing it right now. But he didn't start from some like grand place where it was just gift wrapped for him. He had to fight through some things to get his success. Sarbit. Jared was a guy, honestly, Jared and John both. These were guys that I saw when I first started using Swept. I came across John through a Facebook group, realized he knew what he was talking about. For Jared, he was on the Swept homepage as a testimonial, and I found him via Facebook. And those guys were instrumental on me believing that we could get to the next level. They helped me believe, I can get to a six-figure cleaner. I can get to that spot because I saw that these guys had done it, and they gave me belief. And I just can't wait to release their episodes on the podcast. And then this guy's more recent that I've connected with, but Jordan Tong. Jordan is part of his I think grandparents actually started the company he was with. But when he stepped onto the scene, they went from a little over seven figures to now over multiple eight figure company. And so they are crushing it. And I'm actually in a mastermind group that Jordan runs. And so again, my goals are big. We're a seven-figure company, but my goal is eight figures. And I'm like, okay, here's someone who's done it. Let me go learn from him, instead of just putting it out on Facebook and maybe having somebody tell me with confidence that's doing $130,000 a year, how I can get to 10 million and what I should do. So I learned this principle a while back. It was called define, learn, do. Define, learn, and do. And what that meant was, hey, define what it is that you want, spell it out, write it out. Like, what is it that you want? Define it. Define, learn. Learn meant, okay, you want to do that? Find somebody out there that can teach you how to do that. Now, who can teach you how to do something? Somebody that's done it. If they've done it, they know what it takes, therefore they can teach. So define what it is, learn it, and then you do it. Define, learn, do. And obviously doing helps you and helps the learning process speed up, right? So for the Six Figure Cleaner podcast, that's what it's all about. If you want to have a cleaning company, commercial cleaning company specifically, that creates a six-figure income for you and your family, then if that's what you've defined for you that you want, then you got to learn how to do it, right? And who better to learn from than the people that have done it? And that's the people that are going to be on this show. So again, I love the Facebook groups. I love the platforms out there that are opening up for, hey, you can ask a question, hey, you can get some answers. But the downside of that is that you don't know the qualifications. You don't know the fruit on the tree for those that are giving the answers. And we're going to fix that for you with a Six Figure Cleaner podcast. So 3 things you're going to get here as we build this out. And again, super excited about it. Been thinking about this thing forever. Finally got some pressure just to make it happen, is inspiration. So inspiration comes through hearing other people's stories of success and being able to identify with what they did. So, I can identify with that part. Okay, I can connect with that part. Again, as I said before, I was inspired just seeing Jared and John and seeing their stories. I'm like, oh, they're doing things in a similar fashion to how I'm doing them. They're just further down the road. It was inspiring to me to hear their stories, to see their accomplishments, and to see the similarities there. So you're going to get inspiration from this podcast. We will have attitude sessions. We will have some talks, if you will, because again, a lot of this stuff, man, there's the know-how aspect of it, but there's the belief piece as well. You got to have the belief to put into practice the things that you're taught to do. Because if you don't, a man will not run through a wall that he does not believe he can run through. But if you believe you can run through it, or if you got a reason, you got the belief, then you'll do what you got to do to succeed. So inspiration, attitude sessions, they will be a part of this. I'm going to give you the reason why in just a second. Second piece of this, education. So again, we're going to get taught from people who have done, not taught from people who have theories. Nothing wrong with those people. They just can't teach you with confidence because they haven't done it. As a coach in this industry, oftentimes people will say, hey, Josh, what about this situation? And I will say, hey, I can give you my uninformed, ignorant opinion on what you're asking me there, but I can't give you anything with certainty or confidence because the question you're asking me, that's an area I'm not good in. In fact, a lot of times I refer one of my buddies, Mark Lineberry. I'm like, hey, you need to talk to Mark because he's specialized in churches and schools. And that's not where I'm at. And so talk to him. I can give you my opinion, my uninformed, ignorant opinion, but I can't give you I can give you a theory, but not an answer with confidence. That's not my area. So you want to get educated from people that know their topic. You don't go to the foot doctor. You don't know, hey, check out my foot doc. If you have a brain issue, that's not who you go to. You go to the brain doctor. If you have a heart issue, you don't go to the foot doctor. You know what I'm saying? You go to people that have the education, that have the knowledge base in order to get it. So you're going to learn here from those who have done. So you're going to get some education. You're going to get specifics. You're going to get the stories. Let me tell it to you this way. When we're learning something, when we're teaching something, what you got to have is you really need three things in order for you to pick all of it up. You need, obviously, the information, right? It's like, hey, let me give you the information or the explanation. Hey, here's what the principle is. Here it is. Let me define it for you. Let me explain it to you. That's number one. Number two is, here is an illustration. So here's the principle. Here's a story of this principle in action. So you can connect the dots. So you get the science. Here's the principle. You get the art. Here's the story. And then here is the application. Like, here's how you can take this and run with it and make a difference in your business. So you're going to get the inspiration. You're going to get the education. And again, through that 3-piece format there of illustration, which is story, explanation, which is teaching, training, and then the application, which is in, here's the tactics. Here's the steps that you can take to go out and make this thing happen. You're going to get that. Inspiration, education, and third piece, and this is huge. This is so big. This is one of the most important parts, and it's the community piece. So the 6-figure cleaner community is more about, again, I get in a narrow lane. So we're out there in all the cleaning groups and they're great. And there's nothing wrong with them. And again, you'll see me in them answering questions and asking questions. They're great. But what we're doing here is we're giving a more narrow niche. We're kind of clearing the runway here. We're saying, hey, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Like, here's the lane that we need to take off to get the 6-figure cleaner, like to make that where that's a stamp we can put on ourselves, right? It's like, hey, I'm a 6-figure cleaner, man. I'm in the janitorial industry. I'm in the clean the toilet, take out the trash industry, and I'm making over $100,000 a year. That's what we're looking. If that's what you want to do, this is the lane. And other people that are going to be joining the community, that's what they want to do too. So what we'll know is that we're in class together, my friend, is that we're listening to people that are 6-figure cleaners because we want to be 6-figure cleaners. So if somebody doesn't want to be that, or if they want to build a large residential business, like, hey, that's great. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with any of those things. But this place is for those that want to do this. Now, I'll teach it from my perspective, how I've done it and what my lane is, because we have a narrow niche, and I won't act like I know everything about all the things, because I don't. The more I know how much I don't know, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. But the stuff that I know, I'll teach you guys. Here's how we've done it with my company, and here's how I think you can do it in the same scenario you're in. But if you want to get into this, go a 6-figure cleaner. If you want to be a 6-figure cleaner here in this lane, then let me bring in an expert to talk about that lane. So that's what we're doing with the community. But what we'll all know is that we're pursuing becoming 6-figure cleaners together. Now, wrapping up this episode, let me tell you how this originated for me and how my whole entrepreneur story happened. This is just where it started for me. I graduated college. I didn't have a job yet. I mean, it was just like a few days. A friend invites me to a meeting. I had no idea what it was about. He said, hey, man, we'll stop at Chick-fil-A and I'll buy you chicken sandwich but go to this business meeting with me. I'm like, all right, whatever. I got nothing else to do. I have no job. I graduated college. I got nothing going on. I'll take a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. So he took me to what they would call an opportunity meeting, but it was a sales pitch for the Amway business, which is called Quick Start at the time. And dude, I'm like, I saw the cash flow quadrant, the Robert Kiyosaki rich dad poor dad information about employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. And man, I was like, something in my head just went click. And it came on. So I joined that business. I never made any significant money in that business. But as I look back, I love the experience because it taught me that I had an entrepreneurial vision and dream in my heart, and that helped it come out. And that's what for me gave me that seed of, I'm going to be a business owner. I'm going to leverage the free enterprise system. I'm going to make my own rules. I'm going to be my own boss. That's what helped that come alive in me. Well, they had a training system and all these things that they did, and it was awesome. And I loved it. Now, a lot of people would like knock it. Nah, I went to these meetings and I listened to these tapes or CDs. And I'm like, dude, I went to those meetings and I listened to those tapes and CDs and I read those books, and it changed my freaking life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it lit something up in me, and it changed who I was. I say changed. It lit something I was already there that was inside of me that made me want to go after it even harder. And over the years, I realized, and I have a purpose statement. And my purpose statement says, I exist to tell a story that reignites dreams, awakens souls, and challenges the status quo. I exist to tell a story that reignites dreams, awakens souls, and challenges the status quo. And that was in there somewhere, but that stuff helped it come out for me. And so what I loved about my experience with that business was that they had a system for helping people stay inspired, so that when you're inspired, you would take the education that you were given and you would apply it, because you're lit up a little bit on the inside. So instead of just getting education, doing nothing with it, which is most of us do most of the time, you're like, nah, man, let's put this into practice. My belief was there. Let's make it happen. And the community piece with other people running for the same things was powerful. It was inspirational. It helped raise belief. You were chasing something together. So a lot of what we do here for Six Figure Cleaner really is born out of that environment, atmosphere that we were in, because I know that you could make it. I know that you can make it doing this, because it doesn't require some ridiculously high level of intellect. It doesn't require a high level of some, degree that you have to pursue. What it requires is a willingness to go out and work hard and to improve yourself as a leader, because ultimately what we're doing is not hard. We can teach people to do it. It's not consistently or considered a high paid position, because we can teach people how to be pretty efficient and good in what we do in less than a week's time, right? But you can build this thing big. You can build a 7-figure company, an 8-figure company, and we're going to learn from those who have, and you can make a 6-figure income for you and your family through your commercial cleaning business. So my friends, this is just the intro. I'm telling you where we're going. You don't even know, but it's going to be fired up. You're going to be so excited and grateful to be a part of this team. Hey, and if it's not for you for whatever reason, I say team, because it really is. It's like, man, we're doing something awesome and special together. But if it's not your fit, there's some other great podcasts and great communities that you can link up with and be a part of. So 6-figure cleaner community, I'm excited to go on this journey with you. It's going to be an adventure. And if you'll take the information, you'll absorb the inspiration, you'll be an active part in the community and I'm going to advance, man. I'm going to make this thing happen. You will find yourself at some point here in the near future calling yourself a 6-figure cleaner.